everyone and welcome back to my channel. So this is going to be a newborn baby routine. It's not the rules, it's not the Bible, it's just the way that we are doing things with Stanley. And if you are new to my channel, Stanley is my third baby. He is now 5 weeks old and this is just what we do with him on an average day. It's not a really strict routine because obviously when they're this small you have to follow their cues and just try and keep them happy. But hopefully you enjoy this video and maybe get some tips and advice, or even spot some products that might be able to help you and your baby as well. So don't forget to subscribe if you are new, and without further ado, let's get into Stanley's newborn baby routine. So our day begins at 7:32 today, which is when Stanley woke up, and this is his sleeping arrangement. So he sleeps in the sleepy head with a giant muslin over the top in the snooze pod, and I only use the sleepy head because I feel a lot more comfortable using it with our Angel Care monitor, which has a motion sensor alarm that sounds like this. And that gives me comfort because it actually alarms if he stops breathing. So this is what he normally sleeps in. At the moment it's a sleep suit and a vest while it's not too hot, and then either a Grow Snug or the Love to Dream Swaddle Me, and both are fantastic and he sleeps really well in these. And he also has a dummy. This is a mam one, which we really love because it glows in the dark, which makes it really easy to find during the night feeds, and this settles him as and when he needs it. So I get him up for the day and I get him undressed, and I have to take him downstairs straight away to get him a bottle made because he doesn't like to be left waiting around. So I take the bottles out of our Milton cold water sterilizer. I absolutely love this thing, it's brilliant. And once I've got everything I need, I take it all over to our Tommy Tippy Perfect Prep machine. We've used this with Daisy and with Stanley and we really like it. And he's usually taking about 4 scoops of formula, which equals around 4 ounces with every feed, and we just get all of this ready, and the Perfect Prep makes it a lot easier to do. So you add the formula to a hot shot of water, and then once that's done you give it a shake, and then it gets topped up with water afterwards to make it the perfect temperature. And I find this so easy to do. So when that is done, I take that on through and I give Stanley his first feed of the day, and I really treasure this because it gives me a little bit of time while Mark is getting the older two's breakfast ready for just me and Stanley, and it is really nice. So once he's all fed, I always make sure that I burp him afterwards to clear any air out of his tummy and make him more comfortable. And then when he is finally finished feeding, I go on into the kitchen and I make sure that I drain the Milton sterilizer and I top it up with fresh water and a new tablet, and also clean all of his bottles as well. And this means I can keep putting everything in there throughout the day to sterilize it and keep it clean. After that's all done, Stanley normally has some time on his playmat and plays with his older siblings. He might be little, but you can already tell that he absolutely adores them and they adore him too, and I think this is really important. Then today we decided to give him a bath because he's getting a little bit stinky. You'd be surprised how smelly newborns can get. And I've got everything laid out, so his towel and his wash mitt and nice warm water ready, and I'm just getting him undressed ready for the bath. But as you can tell, he's not that great a fan. Look at that sad little face. He absolutely hates being naked and cold, but he did get happy once he realised he was in nice warm toasty water. And I love giving him a bath. It just, oh, there's something about it that's so cute. But we take him out and then he gets wrapped up in his little towel with the hood, and he's usually pretty grumpy when he comes out of the bath as well because he gets cold. But I pop him down on the bed and everything's laid out, from his clothes to his cream to his nappy and a muslin and things like that. And then I have 2 tips when it comes to getting them ready. If you look on your baby's nappy, a lot of the time you will see these markers which show whether or not your nappy is too big or too small for your baby. If it's outside the yellow markers on this nappy, they are too small. And then these sleep suits from M&S are brilliant because they have a different coloured popper to show you how to line everything up, which is great when you're sleep deprived. Then when he's ready and washed and clean, he will go down for a a nap. He doesn't have a bath every day, but he does normally nap around this time, which will be around 9 o'clock. But he actually ended up waking up at 9:30 today, and he was a little bit grizzly, and we think he wanted another feed because he didn't finish his feed that morning. So Mark gave the feed today and burped him, and then he went right back off to sleep again. And he slept then until around 12:30, which incidentally was when my mum was visiting, so she got to give him a bottle for the day, which as you can tell she really enjoyed. And then he nodded off to sleep again, so we went out for a walk before we went to collect the older two from school and nursery. Then we went for a quick coffee, and I really believe in getting out and about and making your baby fit your lifestyle and your schedule, because I think it's really important that you enjoy your time as a parent too. And he's quite happy here. So we did the school run and collected the other two and walked home and spent a little bit of time together as a family, which was really lovely. Stanley nodded off as he always does, and then around 5:30 he woke again, and we changed his nappy like we do before every single feed. We use water wipes and Little Angel's nappies at the moment because they seem to be working the best for him. Mark's changing his nappy here, which is a godsend as he's still on shared parental leave, and then he gave him his bottle while I cracked on with making dinner, and Stanley got a few cuddles from his big sister as well. So we all ate dinner together as a family, and Stanley sits at the table with us in the Stoker Trip Chat with the newborn insert, which is a godsend. We absolutely love it. And then while Mark was giving the older two a bath, I sat and did some work with Stanley on my knee, and luckily I can edit with one hand. Are you smiling at mummy? Are you smiling at mummy? Should we go and say goodnight to your big brother and sister? Stanley always joins in with the nighttime routine with the older two because I feel like that sets him up for when it's his turn too. Now here I am just putting a wash load on with all of his dirty clothes and his siblings' clothes as well. I use non-biological detergent and a gentle fabric softener, and then it's another bottle time, which is always fun. And this was around 7:30. He just seemed to be really hungry today, and we followed his cues, so I took the bottle through to Mark, and then actually I decided that I would like to feed him because I hadn't fed him at all that day apart from the morning, and I missed the cuddles. Now when the older two are in bed, we take the time to really fuss Stanley and have some one-on-one with him, and we watched a bit of telly too, and this is The Handmaid's Tale, which is great, and then I head up to bed. So it's now 11:15 and Mark is downstairs giving Stanley his last feed of today, and then I am the lucky soul that has to get up at around 2:30 to feed him, so I will see you then. We actually alternate shifts at night, so I set my alarm tonight because I'm doing the night feed, and tomorrow Mark will do it. So I get in bed and I get a few hours sleep before I am up at 2:30. So by the time I get downstairs it's about 3:25. I change his nappy and I pop into the kitchen and make yet another bottle, and once that's done I take it through to Stanley, who is still fast asleep, and we do what is basically called a dream feed. I wake him every 3.5 to 4 hours if he doesn't wake himself, because I want to make sure that he stays hydrated and full, and this has got him into a really good routine by which this is the only time he wakes for a feed. So once that's done I head back into the kitchen, and I'm just working out how much he's had for today, which is around 21.5 ounces, which is really good, and he should be nice and settled now until the morning. So we go upstairs and I get him nice and comfortable in his bed. I have the dummy on standby in case we need it, but it's very rare that we do. And then when he's all tucked up I get to go back to bed. Yay! So I turn the Angel Care monitor on again so I can make sure that he's nice and safe, and that will alarm if anything should happen. And then I get back in bed and get a few more hours sleep, and I really appreciate it because it all starts again the next morning. So that is the end of this video. I hope that you really enjoyed it. If you would like to see more routine videos like this as Stanley grows and gets a little bit older, then let me know in the comments below. But have a lovely day whatever you're up to, and I will see you next time. Bye!